Hey guys, this is Ashley. Welcome back to my channel. I have a great video. I am talking about my 2019 favorites. So I have all these products kind of like sprout out in front of me on my little workspace so I can show you what I have been loving for the 2019 year. Now, I don't have too many. I think I have around 20 something products or so, and I'm not going to go over them in any particular order. So if I show one first doesn't mean I love it even more, but this is literally like what I have been loving. I made my list, I checked it twice, and I was like, yep, this is the stuff I have loved throughout this year. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing I have in front of me is actually a mini guy, and once I finish this up, I'm going to repurchase this. This is the Milk Hydrogrip Primer. So oftentimes when I want to try something out and there's a mini available, I'm going to opt for the mini because, you know, I don't want to waste all my money. And what if I don't like it, or what if I'm not just going to go through it very fast? So mini is a great option. This primer is really great. It's a hydro-based primer. It has a grip. It has a lot of tackiness. And I decided to try this in the summer, and it has a cute little pump right here. Now, what I really do like about it is because I have dry skin, okay? So it's pretty much no secret on my channel. I say it all the time. I have really, really dry skin. And so when I wear my complexion products, I really like a moisturizing primer. And I also sometimes like a hydrating foundation too, because I'm not going to look oily or anything like that. I'm just going to look pretty much normal because my skin is just this dry. But I've really been enjoying this particular primer. It glides over the skin so smooth, and also just adds like a layer of hydration. But it's so sticky, and because it's a grip foundation, or grip primer, excuse me, it really allows your foundation to adhere. And the foundation I really love using this under is the Juvia's Place Stick Foundation, because that foundation can kind of move a little bit because it's a stick foundation and it's like a hydrating foundation, but this particular primer really allows it to stay. I've also found that I really like this Milk primer underneath my Pat McGrath Labs foundation, because that one is a little bit more of a liquidy formula, and then when it's really warm outside, this just allows it to really just stay in place. So this is the Milk Hydrogrip Primer that I've been loving. Now, I mentioned my Pat McGrath foundation. I have been loving this. So I have the shade 22, and I also have the primer. I was fortunate enough to get these two particular items with my Sephora gift card, because, you know, when you're Rouge, you're able to redeem 2,500 points for a $100 gift card. And it's no secret that this particular foundation is super pricey. It is $65, and you get, what is it, 30 mLs? No, you get 35 mLs, excuse me. But even though the price point is really expensive, I use it all the time. And I feel like it will really actually last me a good amount of time, because you don't need a lot to take you a long way. And I'm a person that likes to wear foundation. I'm actually wearing it now. I started getting into foundation this year and decided that I wanted some coverage to a few of discoloration spots in my skin. But this just makes me look so even. It is, along with this primer that's really moisturizing, it allows my face to feel comfortable throughout the day. My face looks great, and I've received so many compliments. It has like this sheer glow to it, and it's just like you're beamy. You have like a highlight on without wearing a highlight. Your skin just looks natural, it looks fresh, and it is buildable to a certain degree. Now, I do like to wear this foundation primarily with this primer. I really like the primer. It feels very moisturizing. Even after I put it on after my marula oil, I'm like, oh yes, like a little extra hydration to my face. Now, the packaging of the primer, I'm not feeling this, because I'm not sure what this label situation is about, because clearly you have this paper label and then you have such this luxurious bottle right here. So I'm not sure what's going on with the primer, but the primer has this cute pump, and you only need a dab, and I just spread it in these particular areas of my face because they're the driest, and that's where I want like the most coverage for my foundation. But overall, I've been loving these two products, and it's just that your face just looks so flawless. Now, I do know a lot of people are kind of saying that it doesn't cover enough, it doesn't give enough coverage. But for me, if you're a person that doesn't like a whole lot of coverage, this foundation is beautiful. It has a beautiful finish. And even if you're oily skin, I think it will look okay, even though it has those glowing properties, but you might just want to use a different type of primer with it, a more mattifying primer versus using the primer that comes with the foundation. Next up, I have my Sonia G Pro set. This is my first time trying luxury brushes, and let me tell you, it is something to it, y'all. Like, I feel ever since I got this particular eye set, then I went in and tried the Wayne Goss set, and I love those just as equally, but when I just think about my favorite over this year, it's been this Sonia G brush set. And it was 5 brushes. I purchased this off of Beaute Oceanic. I think it was like $150, and I even asked for a backup set for Christmas, and not even a backup set. I just want another set, okay? Because these brushes work so well, and they work very well for my eye shape. You have pretty much all the brushes that you need to complete an eye look. You have your pencil brush. You have a nice, beautiful blending brush. It's so fluffy, and your blends come out very smooth. This is called the Blender Pro. And then another favorite brush of mine that I really like is the Worker Pro, because I can definitely hit this outer corner and inner V area very well. And then you have the Crease Pro, which is, you know, crease work when we're doing those transition shades. And then this brush right here, this is the Builder Pro. This brush is amazing when it comes to laying down our shimmer shadows, any sparkly shadows. The bristles are so smooth. The brush has some density to it, so it allows you to pick up the product with ease, and I just never have a problem using it. The hairs are so soft, and I have washed these brushes quite a bit. They're pretty clean right now. I did just use this. If you're wondering where my look is from, it's from the Pat McGrath Dark Galaxy collection. That's the Star Wars. So you can catch that video. But I did just use this brush. Now, in between using the brush, I just clean it in a little makeup towel, like, you know, just go back and forth just to get the product off of it. But what I find is that even with washing it, the brushes do hold their shape very well, and they're still very soft. I've been using African black soap to clean these brushes, but overall, I'm just really impressed with this, and I really have just found like, okay, there is something to these high quality brushes. When I kind of go back in with my Sephora Pro brushes, and I still like them, but I just don't like them as much now, especially like this one. This was a number 10 crease brush that I used to use all the time on my channel. It just feels a little itchier to me. It feels, I mean, this is a soft brush, but now when you're going into these Japanese handmade brushes with like goat hair and everything like that, it's just not compared to how soft these brushes are. And I feel like even when I'm just manipulating my eyes a lot, when I'm filming YouTube and I'm using these particular brushes, since these brushes are so soft, I'm able to do more looks without my eyes just watering and watering up. But overall, I've been loving these brushes, and they've just really kind of just showed me the light to other high-end brushes like Wayne Goss, and now I've tried Breffer, and I'm like, I want more Sonia G brushes because they are beautiful, and they just really help you blend out. And there's something like to be said about having the correct tools when you do your makeup. Not to say that everything else is bad, but this set right here, I have loved it, and I definitely want the Sky set, but it's been sold out, so one day that will be mine. Now, this product I fell in love with, and I really took a chance on buying it because I kept seeing the promotions on Instagram, and it was just like, I don't know if it's true, but you know, I'll try it. And then this particular brand was a little bit more expensive, but it's actually the best one I've tried, because I tried one that was called Beautifully or something like that, and the liner sucked. And so what I'm talking about is Moxie Lash. So I have the Moxie Lash liner right here. This is the eyeliner, and it's a magnetic liner. And magnetic lashes, there's nothing new to it, but I know you guys remember the ones where they have like the lash at the top, the lash at the bottom, you like click them together, and that doesn't work for anything, okay? But I also purchased the lashes right here, and I have a Flashy Lash, and you guys have seen me wear Flashy on my channel many times. And I've had Sassy Lash, and I did do a video on this. So I have Sassy, and then I also have Classy. Now, Classy is very nice, but it's such a small lash that it could be a little difficult to put on. But from all of my like research and trial and error, because now the drugstores are coming out with these magnetic liners, Moxie Lash is still the best. I still have to try my Kiss one. I haven't tried that one. But as far as I know, like this is the best liner. So what I also do, I use this liner, and I might buy the Kiss magnetic lashes, or I might buy the old school ones where you have the top and the bottom, and I just put the top on top of the Moxie Lash, and that just gives me more styles I can wear, because especially like these lashes are like $30 versus the other lashes are like 10 you know, dollars. So but then it gives me a lot of variety, because as you saw, like Sassy and Flashy, they're like woo, you know, so I can't wear those all the time and go into everything. So that just gives me a like, you know, a little bit more versatility. This is what the wand looks like. I know it comes in 2 different styles. Like this is more of like the liquid one, and then they have the gel pot one. Now this liner, it is a little chunkier. So I know when they market it on the videos, or basically like you do your whole liner situation with this. So like if you're doing wing liner, you'll do your wing liner, and then you'll snatch your lashes on. So what I prefer to do actually is I prefer to do my wing liner how I normally do it, using the products I would normally use. And then I put a thin line of this down on top of that wing liner, so that way I get to preserve this and I'm not going through this very quickly. Plus this one, it gets a little chunky, so it can be a little harder to get that precise wing liner notion. But I put this over the wing liner and then pop the lashes on, and when I say these lashes stay all day, I do not have an issue with the magnets moving. I mean, like the lashes are there, and if I need to pick it up for some reason, I've even like just picked it up and shown people like, look, my lashes are my lashes, and then boop, and it goes right back. But it's great. If you have watery eyes, you need to try this product, because a lot of times when I wear lashes, if it gets too watery in this particular area, it's over. The glue is not sticking. I mean, it's just over. And if you're having trouble applying magnetic lashes and you can't ever figure out how to do it, this is for you. So it's a little pricey, but I love it, and it's the best one. Like I said, I haven't tried that Kiss one yet, so I'm not sure how that works, but this, the Moxie Lash Liner, is the best. So I was making my list, and I was just like, you know what? I don't even know how I almost forgot this, to put it on my list. And it is the Fenty Beauty Concealer, okay? So I'm not a big concealer person. Basically, once I have my base down, I might highlight a little bit underneath my eyes, or if I'm looking dark, depending on my makeup look or depending on how glam I want to look. But where these concealers really came into play for me is basically throughout the whole year, and it's actually before the next product I talk about came out, I was using this. So Fenty decided to release concealers, and it was great because she released like 50 shades, everything to match, you know, all her foundation shades. And I actually have like 3 or 4 of these. I just have the shade 385 out now, which is the one that's closest to my skin complexion at the moment. So I have like 370, I have 350. 370 is more my summer, no, 370 is more my, I guess, winter color. But I've been in the sun so much, so I'll probably stay around this color before I go back to 370, because 370 is very light. But I was using this really as a foundation. That's where I fell in love with it. I was using this every day as my foundation because I love the Fenty regular foundation, but it was matte and it was so drying. But this had a soft finish. It was, you can instantly hide, like I have a dark spot right here, so I can instantly cover that up. No muss, no fuss, and it was hydrating. So these concealers are not matte, they're not oily, but they have just like a soft, natural finish to them. So I was really enjoying this. But then Fenty actually came out with the Profiltr Hydrating Longwear Foundation, and this is another product that I've been loving because I have the shade 385, and it comes in this tube, unlike how the other foundation comes in a bottle similar to this. And this is the primer that goes along with it. This is the hydrating primer. So I use these together generally, and this is just so nice. It's a soft silk and it's a hydrating. It just provides that moisture that my skin is always looking for, and these two together keep my face looking flawless all day long. I don't have a problem with this transferring. I don't have a problem with it looking, settling into lines around my nose or kind of like my laugh line area, and it just looks cohesive throughout the whole day. It doesn't, you can't really tell that I have on foundation. It provides great coverage, and I don't look cakey when I wear it. So like I said before, the concealer was my jam as I was using it as a foundation, but then once I got the hydrating version of the foundation, it just really became my jam, and now I just use the concealers as needed if I want a little bit light day and I just want to touch up, or I'll use another appropriate concealer to kind of do a little bit of highlighting underneath my eyes or just brightening really. But these two together, and I really like how this came in a plastic tube versus this hard heavy case. I'm not sure why the primer is still in this particular thing right here, but this does have a pump, and the plastic tubing is just really convenient, and especially if you like to travel, so I can just literally just throw this in my makeup bag and not worried about it being so heavy. Only thing is it does have this pump right here, and it can get a little messy. I do clean it very often, but I didn't clean it for this video, so you know, just me keeping it real. And then I have it comes with 32 mLs. So I love it. It's like, it holds true. And now I have an option where I don't have to manipulate it to make it work for my skin. And throughout the day, my skin feels comfortable, and I don't feel like I'm wearing makeup versus like if I was manipulating one of the matte foundations by her. Now, a brand that is new to me and it kind of hit the market in a big way, and I just pulled out my favorite palette from them, is the brand Kaleidos. These little babies, it's about 5 of them now, and these are the Sci-Fi Futurism 1 palette. So this is Futurism 1, this is Sci-Fi Green. But when I tell you, when you're talking about a palette, you're talking about a 5-pan palette, this concept is gorgeous. Oh, excuse me, there's 6 pans. So you have this beautiful artwork. It has a rubberized texture on top of the cardboard, and then you have these little green metallic features going through it. And then when you open it up, you're talking about you have quality shadows. This is a brand you need to be on the lookout for, because I think they're going to be doing some big things. And when they ship the products to you, oh my God, it comes wrapped in bubble wrap. I mean, the stuff is not getting broke. If it gets broke, I don't even know. Like, they probably don't know, because I mean, they have taken every precaution for their items to not get broke. And then they wrap it with such care. They give you nice gift box. They put the palettes in there. They nestle it around foam. Then they put the bubble wrap in there, and they have, it's a whole to do, and they give you a nice little written message for it. But this is the Futurism Green palette, and it's just a beautiful grungy / olive green palette with a pop of gold. Now, the only thing I don't really care for in this particular palette is that the 2 greens kind of look similar to each other. I know this one is deeper than this one, but on the eye, it kind of just translates as the same green. So that can be somewhat of an issue. But you have a cute little mirror here, but I mean, the mirror is really, really tiny. You can only see like literally your eye in it. But overall, when you're talking about a theme and just something different to your collection, this is it. And they're beautiful. The shadows are very creamy. The metallics are creamy. They're pigmented. They're easy to blend. And the price point is actually not too terrible. And they run bundle deals on their site all the time. So this is Kaleidos. And I'm definitely looking forward to anything else that they are releasing in the year of 2020, because they just came out with some highlighters also, and they are cute as a button. Another new brand to me is Milk Cosmetics, believe it or not. I have never tried their stacks or any of their palettes, and I wanted to try the Smoke Sessions palette, but it sold out so fast. But I was definitely able to get my hands on this baby once it came to Sephora, and now they are carried to Sephora, so I will probably pick up like maybe the Smoke Sessions palette. But this is gorgeous, and when I tell you this is a theme, they did not come to play. Okay, look at this. At first, when I saw the promo pictures, I was like, okay, I'm only going to get the Muerte palette. So the whole collection is called, I don't know, what is it called? It's called something, I don't know, it's honoring the day, it's honoring, you know, it's a Mexican culture, that's the theme of it. I can't think of it. It's Last Dias Day, the Day of the Dead, I want to say. I'll try to put it on the screen. But when I saw the promo, I just saw the colors and I was just like, okay, that is beautiful. I think this is going to be my first melt palette because look at this color scheme. This is bomb, okay? And you're not finding color schemes like this, okay? This is very interesting. I mean, of course, it would be more of an accent palette. You can definitely do some full smoky looks for it, okay? Like, don't get me wrong, but you might need to pull in a certain transition shade. But I think it's beautiful. You have a lot of matte shades. You only have 3 shimmers in this particular palette. But then I saw the other side of it. But when I saw the 2 together, I said, oh, there's no way that I can just get one. Or, I mean, one. I have to get both because look at it. It's also cool. It's a magnet. I mean, when I say they left no stone unturned when it comes to this design, this is collection. Hands down, best collection of 2019. One of the best. I mean, first of all, look at the packaging. All the details. You have like this magnetic. It lines up. You know, there are 2 friends that are owners of Melt. They're both of Mexican-American heritage. Look at the back. Then on the back, you have this, on the palette, you have this embossed design and paints. I can't hold it. My hands are so small. But it is beautiful. I mean, you're just not finding anything like this in the makeup industry. This is a theme, okay? I haven't seen a theme this hard maybe since like a Alice in Wonderland palette from Urban Decay. Okay, that's a theme palette for you, or some of the, you know, those palettes that they were used to do. But this is definitely a theme, and the colors are gorgeous. The pigmentation is gorgeous. I mean, everything. Like, where do you find these bright neon colors from? You know, and you have just 2 shimmers in it. So in here you can do a very neutral shade. So the palettes are actually complementary to each other, because if you need a transition shade for the Muerte palette, you can just jump into the Vida because you have it right here. And I actually did a look with both of the palettes on my channel to combine, because I didn't have time to do one for each palette, unfortunately. But you have bright oranges. You got your green slash browns right here. You got your bright greens, and the palette just kind of goes on and on and on. I think this is just so well done, so well thought of. So it was just definitely a winner in my book for 2019, and I gotta play with this some more. I mean, it's just been so much makeup coming out. Like, y'all need to slow down. Just slow down with all the makeup. So this product, I kind of feel a little sad sharing it with you, but I mean, if I'm honest, this is definitely a favorite of 2019. This is the Maybelline x Puma Master Chrome Highlighter in the shade Knockout. This shade is gorgeous. This is literally my favorite highlighter in my collection, and I think it was like either $8 or $10. And I had to buy it from Ulta, and it was a collab situation, and it's like a peachy gold with a little bit of a little lavender shift, so it looks really great on my skin complexion, where it's not always so stark, because some of my other gold highlighters I just wasn't feeling it. And it's very smooth, and it's just beautiful, and it just catches the light so well. But I absolutely love this highlighter. I had to order it offline. I couldn't even find it in stores, and I have quite a bit of product. I was like, I hope I never run out, but you know, I should be okay. I'll probably hit pan one day. But it has 5.6 grams of product, so I kind of feel bad showing it, but if I'm true to the video, this has literally been my highlighter. I've been using this palette. This came out, I want to say like in January or February of this year, and I just instantly knew I had to have it. I had to order it off Ulta Online, and you know, like Ulta Online, if you're just ordering one product, it's kind of like always not really worth it, because you got to have $50 for free shipping. But I was like, you know what, for this, I'm paying the shipping, and I'm so glad I did, because this has just literally been my favorite highlighter. It always goes with basically all of my looks, and I just pop this on. If I don't know what I'm doing, I have to remind myself to like use other highlighters in my collection, because I always wear this, like literally always. So let's talk about the few lip products that I've been loving for 2019. I don't have a whole lot of lip products, and that's because after I did my declutter of last year of my lip products, I said, girl, you do not go through these lipsticks very fast, even though you wear a lip product every day. I'm just not running through them very fast, so I need to stop buying a whole lot of lip products. So I definitely didn't buy a whole lot, but ironically, when I was decluttering, I found this in my collection, and I don't know if I must have got it free from Sephora, but this is like the Bite Amuse Bouche. I think it's like a liquid lipstick, but it has kind of like a lacquerous feel to it, and it's small, and it's probably a mini. And every time I try to think about purchasing a new one from Sephora, it goes out on sale or it's out of stock because it's on super sale. So I don't know what Bite is actually doing with their brand. They actually look like they're revamping their brand, because when I went into Sephora the other day, it was like coming soon in 2020, but it was like literally no lipsticks on their gondola. Like everything was bare. It was like 5 lipsticks. They were on super sale. And the one shade I thought I was going to get, I just really wasn't feeling it because the box looked like crap. Even though the product was intact, I just didn't want to do it. But this is a beautiful brown chocolate shade, and it's actually very comfortable to wear, and I don't have to worry about it caking up. I don't have to worry about it flaking, and it just looks so, it looks like, really to me, like more like a gloss versus a liquid lipstick, and it has a lot of color payoff, and it stays. It is just a beautiful brown color, and it doesn't look crazy and cakey around the inners of the lip because I talk a lot for work and I don't always have a lot of time to touch up. And then the thing is, people are looking at me all the time in the pharmacy, and I'm just like, you don't want to be looking crazy. Like, you don't want to have like your lipstick or whatever your liquid lip is bleeding out, or having that line right there that can get really annoying. And then I'm a person, if my lips get too clunky or gunky, like I'll start, you know, licking, you know, and doing that biting motion, which is terrible, but it's just the way it is. So I like things to really last, and I have been loving that, and I just found that by default. Like, you know, look what happens when you declutter your stuff, and you're like, oh, this is wonderful. Why wasn't I wearing this before? Now, this is a favorite, and it's a crying shame, because Fenty, we need a petition. We need a full size of this, because when I run out of this, this is going to be an issue. I literally had to dig this out of my purse. So this is actually a holiday collection. It's a mini gloss bomb, but the shade is called Hot Chocolate, and it came in a set with 5 other gloss bombs. The other gloss bombs are beautiful, but this particular shade, Hot Chocolate, it is my jam. And I think all the other brown skin girls feel the same way, because even though Gloss Bomb is great and is universal and it looks great on everybody, like this is just like the perfect brown nude gloss. And I love the Gloss Bomb formula because you always have the hint of glitter. It's very moisturizing. It doesn't cake up. Not to mention, you could put it over liquid lipsticks. And on my particular lips, because I shed skin a lot, if I put on like a liquid lipstick, then put on the gloss, it's like too cakey and my lips just start kind of flaring up. And like I said, I get that gunk, and I'm not with what I was saying before my camera so rudely cut me off, is that when they I have too much stuff on my lips, it just does not work out. Like, they're going to peel, it's just a mess. So I really just love the formula for that reason, because I could put on a liquid lipstick, decide, oh, I want a little gloss, or I could put on matte lipstick, decide I want a little gloss. And it does not disturb the product underneath. Not to mention, it looks bomb by itself, and or you could just throw in a lip liner and kind of alter the shape. I love Gloss Bomb, okay? So Fenty, girl, come on, make us a full size. Please make us a full size of this. This is Hot Chocolate. So, like I said, you can only find it in the Fenty holiday set with the 5 other gloss bombs. Now, I love those shades too, but this right here is my whole entire jam. Next up, I have the Lip Bar's Hot Mess. Now, the Lip Bar is an indie brand. They came out with all these colorful lipsticks when they first started, and now they have these standout shades. Like, one of their standout red shades is called Boss Lady, and this I picked up, and it's called Hot Mess, and it's like a warm red, raspberry, orangey red type of shade, and I love it. And it's a liquid lipstick, and it does not move. And I love pairing this with a red lip liner, or a darker red lip liner, or a brown lip liner, and I think it is great. I actually picked this up in Target because Lip Bar is now actually carried in Target, and they have lip glosses in all different other colors, but this has been my color for the year. I love this shade. It is so pretty. If you're my complexion or a little bit deeper or a little bit lighter, or even if you're fair skinned, this is a beautiful color, especially for the summer. I mean, look how bold it is. It is gorgeous. I have done several videos, I want to say, on YouTube featuring this particular shade, and like I said, this is the shade called Haute Mess, and it's by the Lip Bar. So this is definitely a brand that you should check out and get your hands on, and they are carried in majority of most Targets. The last bit of lip products I have here are my Pat McGrath Luxe Glosses. And I just have the mini kits. Pat McGrath came out with 2 mini kits this year where they were 3 for $25. And this was a steal, okay? Because you basically got her most popular shades for $25 in the mini versions. And it is a great deal because it's going to take you a moment to go through a gloss, more than likely. But one gloss of hers is like $25 when you get 3 for $25. Y'all should have known I was going to drop something. But basically she had like the 3 brown shades together. You have some of her most popular shades, like you have Flesh 4, you have Bronze Temptation, you have Divine Rose. We also have Dare to Bear. And then this one is a more glittery version, and this is actually Pale Fire. So don't these names sound familiar when you're thinking about her eyeshadows? Okay, and the one I dropped is way back there, like on the floor. It's called Flesh Fantasy 4 for sure. But these glosses are wonderful. Once again, the formula is smooth. You're going to get lots of pigmentation. If you're brown and you want a good brown lip gloss rather, Flesh 4 is beautiful. So these formulas are great. They're smooth. They're long lasting. You can put them over your liquid lipsticks. Once again, you can wear them by yourself. And they just provide, and they have great pigmentation. Like sometimes it's just so hard to find a gloss that has good pigmentation. You know, it looks one way in the tube and then you put it on your lips and you're like, what is this? But not with her glosses. They're beautiful and you can put them on as lip toppers, and they just really, she really has a lot of shades to offer for a lot of different skin tones, and that's what I appreciate about. So I want to say, like, this Bronze Temptation, apparently I've been wearing it quite a bit, but I love them, and you can just pop them in your bag. And sometimes what I do, if I'm wearing a lipstick and I get tired of wearing a liquid lipstick where I'm out, and then later on I just transition to one of these glosses, and it works. So I would definitely just try these glosses. 3 for $25, you cannot go wrong versus paying 1 for $25 and figuring out if you like the formula or not. So sticking with Miss Pat McGrath, we'll just roll into, you know, she has so many eyeshadow releases. I just like, I have to narrow it down to my favorites of the faves, okay? Doesn't mean I don't like any of them. Doesn't mean I didn't like Mothership 6. I do, but when I think about what's truly been my favorites, it has been these 2 idols right here. I love this shade. You know, I love a berry. I love a red. Got red on right now. This is the shade Crimson Fire, and this is a metallic formula, and this is part of her Idols. So the Idols collection came out, I want to say, April, March of this year, and she had a lot of shades, but quite a few of them were not new. So this is a new shade right here, and it's called Crimson Fire, and it is so smooth, as you can see, and it's actually a metallic shade, but it was one of those metallic formulas where you can put it all over the lid and blend it out into the crease, and that's literally what I've done with this eyeshadow so many times, and it's come out beautiful. Throw a little eyeliner on, lashes, ready to go. Don't even need a transition shade. But if I also want to think about another shadow that has just been stunning, and it's just hard to find good purple shadows, it has been another idol, and it's called Synthetica. And Synthetica is beautiful. This is a metallic formula. Also, this one is a little bit more wet in nature, but it also has a lot more glitter particles. Look at this purple right here. And it just glides on, and you have so much shine, and it's actually like, it has a very dark black base to this purple, so you can get a lot of smoky looks with this, but it has so much glitter, and I have literally been loving these 2 shades right here. I have been just so ecstatic to have them in my collection. Okay, I put a pillow down because I just felt like every time I was talking to you, I was just sliding in my chair. You know, I have like a kind of like a plastic lucite chair that I sit in that goes with my vanity, and I just turn it around to film. And literally, I just felt like the whole video, I just kept sliding down. So I was like, let me grab this pillow so I can just stay in one spot and finish this off. Okay. So the next item we have, like I said, I'm just going to kind of do this Pat McGrath stuff together. And I have fallen in love with these expensive eyeliners, but they're bomb. But they are bomb. Okay. Now the one you can tell, because this is my newest one. This is the Blitz Blue. So this is pretty much the full size of it right here. You get 1.2 grams of product, and it does come with an eye sharpener. I mean, a pencil sharpener, which is wonderful because now I have pencil sharpeners when I need them, you know, for my lip liner. So lip liners come like that too, and for my eyeliners. But this is the black one that I use all the time. I have the black one in my Rotterdam right now, and you see I have used it up quite considerably. But this is literally a PMGL liner, and I have the well, there's only really like 3 shades of these. It might be, it's a 4th one because there's a different type of brown one, but I have Black Coffee, which is a really dark brown, and it's beautiful because sometimes you just need a good brown liner, you know, and it's really hard to find brown liner. But this is Brown Coffee. But I love putting these in my waterline. And it's great because they're so creamy. You can just kind of draw them on your lids and set them as a base for a shadow. And they don't tug. I can put these eyeliners on in my waterline. I'm like looking for the top. Here it is. Okay. You can put these in my waterline and they don't make me water up. It's very rare if I put this liner on, I'm like, and some other formulas, I kind of get that. And they last all day. These are so smooth. They're so creamy. And they bring such intensity to the eyes. I wish you would get a purple shade. And then, of course, I have the Extreme Black right here. That is Extreme Black. What's nice about these, you can also tight line with them very well. Or just put these over shadows. They glide so easily. You know, a lot of times it's very hard to put pencil liner over a shadow. Especially if it's like a bold metallic shadow, it's not going to work. But especially some days I just put this Black Coffee liner on some of my softer looks and put this liner over, and it looks great. Then I also have the shade Blitz Blue, which is beautiful but has a lot of glitter in it. And you know, it's kind of hard to find blue liner too. But these are the 3 shades of liners. So they're like $25 a piece. So I only buy them really when it's like a Sephora VIP sale, or if she's gonna have a sale, because they're expensive. And who wants this? Is $75 right here. That's crazy. But they are literally some of the best liners, and I finally decided to take the plunge and try them out this year. So I'm super excited that I finally just decided to make that plunge. And my last thing by Pat McGrath, last but not least, she has released so many things. And I kind of, okay, we're going to do a little honorable mention right here, okay? So these weren't in my list, but I received these in the mail yesterday. I'm in love. Like, these 2 have stolen my heart. These are the Pat McGrath Star Wars, and I have this one on my eyes right now. These 6-pan palettes are gorgeous. The color stories are insane. They're super wearable. I think a lot of people, I dug my nail in one of them, typical Ashleigh. But the color schemes are amazing. It has a purple in here that's kind of similar to the shade Synthetic. It has that corruption shade. You got the duochromes. You got your gold standard. You got another duochrome purple. I mean, it is beautiful. I'm in love. So this is like already in the middle of the video. I understand. It's an honorable mention because I am here for it. Then, of course, my little plastic card dropped on the floor. But also, I have this now, because this is that red that you see on my eyes right here, and that is the shade that's called Saturnalia. This palette is beautiful. Like, you know, I love a good berry tone, reds and coppers and stuff together, and bronzes. Gorgeous. Shadows blend out like a dream. So these 2 are some honorable mentions. while we were on the topic of Pat McGrath for favorites of the year, because I can't even front. Like, I love these two color stories. These two color stories are bomb. And I think it makes it very easy for you to complete a look, because a lot of times, sometimes with her palettes, you have to kind of think about it because the colors are so obscure. Like, I always love that, and it makes it fun. But sometimes you want something you can go in and just be like, boop, 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 and be on about your way, versus sitting there thinking, like, if I put this with this, is this going to work? Or if I add this with this, like, it's going to tear the whole look up, you know, because sometimes her palettes can be like that. But these two are, man, these are beautiful. I love these. I'm so glad I got my hands on this. But my last item that I was going to talk about is this. This is one of the mini quads, and I picked this because I love the other mini quads. I've done some great looks with them, but for me, the color scheme of this one, hands down, this is the Blitz Astro Quad in Nocturnal Nirvana, and you cannot deny. Look at this. Look at this. And you have a green shifting purple in here. And this purple, this Blitz purple, you have you have two Blitz shades, I want to say. Yeah, my card came jacked up in this particular palette with the shade names, unfortunately. Like, I got the iconic illumination card in my Blitz Nirvana package instead of, yeah, so this right here, I mean, I want Pat to give us a 6-pan palette with blues and greens and like a fun matte, and that's not brown. But look, I mean, do you see? Like, and the Blitz formula is bomb. And you can blend the Blitz formula out. There's a lot of pigment. Right now I'm just going in with my finger so it looks a little different, but there's lots of pigment when you're behind as a base of these shades, and you can blend them out. It's so pretty. But I'm telling you, like, in love. In love. So this to me was like just a standout product for me from her, and it was just such a different color scheme that we're not used to from her. We have a gold in here and it's pretty, but we're used to a lot of golds and bordeauxs and burgundies and maybe a silver, and then we've had quite a bit of reds from her, but this was just like, girl, you gave us aqua? Okay, because she's giving us some greens and she's giving us a blue like in Mothership One, but I was like, oh, okay, I'm here for it, because this is the one I picked up first. I didn't even get Iconic Illumination until like literally a sale later. I was like, okay, I'm gonna buy it because it looked like a lot of stuff I could dupe in my collection if I kept it honest, you know? But I was like, the formulas on par, those shades are beautiful. I'm not gonna even front. I'm gonna pick it up. And then the realistic rose was beautiful to me. You know, it's just playful and more rose golds. I like that. So I got those two at first, but that one for me was always the standout quad. Another beautiful palette. And I almost didn't buy this, y'all. It's so sad because I had bought a lot of stuff and I was just like, girl, you don't need it. But it is beautiful and one of the most beautiful palettes of the year. And I'm talking about the Beaute Oceanic palette. This is the inside and this is what the front looks like. I mean, they honestly killed it with this palette. Where have you just seen a blue-green palette that is just this pretty? And the wonderful thing about it is it's pigmented, it's easy to blend out, the shimmers are great. You're going to get so many color combinations with this palette. It's insane. You have so many greens to pick from. You have these dark greens, you got the dark blues, you got mid-tone blue, light blue. So you kind of have something to go, and everything, basically every shimmer has a matte, like this and this goes together, and you got this and this that can go together, this and this, and you put it in here. But this lime green algae, look, they did not come to play with this palette. You need to get your hands on this. If you are into blues and greens, like, where are we getting pigmentation like that from neons? I mean, it is beautiful. And then you have these shimmers. Like, one of my favorite shimmers is Marina and Mykonos. I love Mykonos also. Mykonos is this one right here. But this is Marina. I'm like running out of space. Wait a minute. That finger has nothing on it. Okay. This is the finger. I use this finger. Like this. Look at that blue. It is murky. This palette is like everything an ocean is. This is not like a blue-green palette, because you've seen blue-green palettes. But this is literally like, I'm the ocean. This is what the ocean looks like. When they say oceanic, they did not play. Like, I see all of these tones when you go to the ocean. From the algaes and the purples and the greens and the duochrome shifts and the blues. So this palette is so well done. Everything blends out really well. Even like you have the shade Pacifica. And Ace Beaute, to me, they have really just stepped up their formula, because the bundle, the Paradise collection, they were a little but this and the Flare palette, this is gorgeous. You have to get your hands on it. It is a great, just, you can make all-inclusive looks with it, or you can definitely use it as an accent palette. But these mattes in here are to die for. Look at that. Look at that. You see what my fingers look like. So this is a beautiful palette, and I'm so glad I got my hands on it. And a lot of people have been thinking so too. Like, they're like, yeah, that palette is great. Another palette that I like, and I was like, I think really what I like it for are like 2 to 3 shades, and I'm totally fine with that. And it's been my favorite shade. And like, when you see the shade I'm pointing out, you'll probably be like, yeah, that's why, because you love shades like that. And this is the Juvia's Place Nubian 3 palette, and this is the coral theme palette. But they did a really good job on this palette. Like, the mattes are really nice. It's like, this is the palette for me with Juvia's Place. They started stepping their formula up. Their shimmers have always been great when it comes to Juvia's Place, but these shimmers, they're a little bit creamier. Like, these shades don't have names. A little bit creamier, and the mattes blend out and a little bit more pigmented. To me, Juvia's Place mattes can be a little thin sometimes, like, even though they're pigmented, but it's like they still thin. You know what I mean? Like, but this one, the formula just stepped up so well, and I just love the pops of cool tones. Like, this silver in here in the gray matte. I love a good gray matte, okay? I'm not a big cool tone person, but I love a gray matte. Gray mattes, I love a gray matte. So, but for me, they just really knocked it out of the park. You have so many different options, and it really looks good on a lot of different skin tones. And I think it just added a little bit something else to their line, because like I said before, like, sometimes their palettes are just so all over the place. People can't really figure out how to put looks together, which sometimes I can't either. Like, let's just take an example, like Zulu. You're like, what am I doing with this color scheme? You know what I mean? But this is more wearable for people, and it gives a lot of people other options when it comes to the brand. But this one, for me, this is when the formula really just stepped up, because these mattes are just so great, and they blend out very well and pigmented. And then the shimmers are just like that extra creamy foil, very rich, very bodied shimmer. Next, I have, we're almost done, and these these are like literally the favorites of the favorites for me for the year. So we have the Natasha Denona Sunrise palette. This was the new palette that she came out with this summer. You know, before she had Sunset, now this is Sunrise. And this is at the new price point of $65. So to me, it was like, yes, let's try this out, because $125 is a lot. But she reduced the product size, because I think for her, it's always been about the amount of shadows you've gotten, even though her formula is very great. But when you compare it to Pat McGrath, I know Pat does a lot with the packaging. I don't want to get into specifics of everything, but I know she reduced the shadow size a lot. And Pat has been doing that also with some of her other kits. But this has been a beautiful palette, and it has these berries, and you have the corals, and you have the golds. Like, I have worn this palette so many times, and it looks a little used and abused, so you can tell I've been loving it. And on the back, you know, you can pop it out, and you see the little holes where you can pop out the shadows and put them in a Z palette. But Phlox has been my color. Phlox has been my jam, because, you know, it's good in coppery and orange, and I just put it all over the lid and keep it moving. You know, I'm into that. But Day Spring for me, it's been such a beautiful bronzy gold on my complexion. And okay, I'm like out of room. This is Day Spring. I've just really been living for that. Now the mattes are great, because you have like this shade Carnelian that shows up. You have Jasper. You have Clove, which is the deepest matte in here, but I just love that you don't have a brown. And then you can get very neutral with this side of the palette. Like, these two shadows are beautiful. I don't normally go for shadows that light, but Agate, I love it. It's beautiful. Like, you know, that's not usually my thing, but this palette really surprised me, especially when I'm talking about this half. I knew I would love this half and then maybe like this shade, but these have definitely done something for me as far as creating softer looks and not always being so bold. So I am really loving this palette, and I think she did an awesome job. And this palette, it really made me look forward to other palettes that she was putting out. So this is the Natasha Denona Sunrise. You saw my If I Could Only Keep 10 Palettes Challenge tag video. Safari Raine. You already know. When I say I love this palette, I love this palette and I love Colored Raine formulation, okay? So to me, this is like best of both worlds. It's a little hard to see, so I'm gonna hold it kind of back because this metallic gold background. But it's very murky, it's bright, it's deep, it's everything in one. Like, then you know, of course, Tigress. These shimmers, Colored Raine shimmers, are gorgeous. Colored Raine mattes are gorgeous. You're going to have pigmented mattes. You're going to have full body shimmers. Look at that. That's Tigress. I like also that this palette also has a couple cool tones. Like, you have a more cooler tone gold. You also have this silvery gold right here. Pewter, more color than a more, also this dark brown is also a little bit more cooler in nature. So you can get a wide variety of looks. You can get going out looks. You can get bold looks. You can get a little bit more subdued looks. And the formula, I mean, first of all, look at this matte jungle. It's bomb. I'm out of space. Look at it. So overall, this formula and the color scheme has just been great because you have some greens, and the way they did the colors in it, it kind of makes it more approachable to me. So I mean, I don't mind color, like you guys know, but if you're a consumer that like, I only really like neutrals, you still have some fun neutrals in here that pack a punch, that are like are extra special versus maybe your regular golds and some other formulations. The formula is just so good in these shadows. And then you also have a couple of shades in, like, okay, well, I'm not really into green, but this green is very, like, you know, it's a neutral green, and it goes really good if you're my skin complexion or deeper, because it has a lot of gold in it, so it makes it a little bit more approachable. And then with the Congo Basin, I mean, you just have so many infinite looks. You can literally just go down the road. You can go here, 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 or you can just mix it up. But I just love this palette, and I was so happy to get my hands on it. It is actually limited edition. I think they need to bring that back and make it. Another palette by Colored Raine that I'm absolutely in love with that came out this year is Colored Raine times Power. So yes, Power TV, as in the television show with 50 Cent, Curtis Jackson, they came out with a collab, and baby, this is amazing. Like, one of the best purple palettes I have ever seen in my whole entire life. Like, it's bomb, it's purple, it's berry, it has some reds, it has some dual chromes. I mean, it is everything. And it has 4 mattes, and then it has 5 shimmers, and one of them is a dual chrome. Like, you have the shade Legacy right here, so you can get a lot of fun looks. I think I did a video with, I know it wasn't 3, so it might have been 5 looks. My arm is done. But this shade Truth, and the names are like epic because it just goes along with the show. Like, look at Truth right there. And then I love the shade Revenge. It has dual chrome. It's coppery. You know, I love that shade. Then you also have the shade Respect. So, I mean, and the shimmer shades are just, okay. I just swatched that arm. I keep swatching it. Okay, I keep swatching fingers that don't have nothing on it. I'm sorry, y'all. So, like, my arm is done, but hopefully you guys can see what I mean here. I mean, these shadows are great. They're foil. And like I just said with the Safari Raine, like, you know, the quality is just impeccable when it comes to Colored Raine. And this is a color scheme, baby. This is a color scheme, and it holds true to, like, the collab. So I have been loving this palette. This was also in my, if I could only keep 10 palettes, like, look, I will fight you over this, okay? Fight you. Last but certainly not least, was the Monochromatic Palette Main Squeeze. This is the one that Colourpop put out for their birthday. And you talking about, you already know it's red, but it's the right shades of red where I'm not looking like I'm sick. And you already know I love it. And Colourpop formula to me has just evolved. Colourpop is one of my favorite brands. I mean, it's affordable. How can you not like it? They put out stuff every 5 minutes, so it's a little hard for me to keep up. But I mean, it's beautiful. Like, you have just these beautiful shades. Like, and it's only, well, it's like 4 shimmers in this palette technically. Okay, my camera cut off on me again, so I hope this video is just not too long. You have these shades, and I just can't really swatch anything else at this point. But these shades are beautiful, and I wore this palette almost every day this summer. And I just think on my complexion, it just really, really worked. So, and at $12, you cannot beat it. So this is like literally my favorite one that they came out with this year, other than like I really like the smoky one because I've been waiting for them to come out with this. But when I just think about my true favorites, this has been a favorite. So this is all the stuff I've been loving this year. I don't think it was too many products, but I think I had some great products. I've definitely bought way more stuff than this year, but these are just truly my favorites. So let me know down below, do you have any of these, and what have been your favorites for 2019, okay? So let me know down in the comments. Give this video a big thumbs up, and please subscribe to my channel because you know I would love to have you here. And I will talk to you guys later. Oh, and you already know I gotta hit you with that chair dance. Chair dance. Chair dance. Chair dance. Chair dance. All right, y'all. I'm gone. Bye.